One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. Have you ever listened to Midnight North?
Out of a train.
That you got at Electric Fish Lights.
Shit.
You totally could.
You could. Well, okay, check it out.
What could you do?
Here's the thing. You have lights in your house. I guarantee if you have a house, you've got lights in it. And every one of the lights in the house is pretty much the same. I mean, there's some cool lamps out there, but basically you turn it on, you turn it off, it's got a white bulb, it's a light. It's not that much fun. But if you go to electricfishlights.com, or if you go to @electricfishlights on Instagram, you are going to find the coolest lights on the planet. Simply the coolest. All right. They are made with a thing called IQ technology, which stands for interlocking quadrilaterals. And that is 30 interlocking pieces of upcycled vinyl plastic like milk jugs that can be configured into 15 different shapes. And when you put them together, they can basically build just about anything your mind can conceive. And these lights also come with color changing bulbs as an upgrade, color changing bulbs that are a Bluetooth speaker as an upgrade, and they are hooking the No Simple Road family up with a 10% discount. So when you check out, put it in the promo code NSR, and Electric Fish Lights is going to hook you up with 10% off. So don't be boring, don't be lame, don't be blah. Go hook your house up with the coolest lights out there on the planet, Electric Fish Lights.
We have a wonderful sponsor coming at you on this episode this week, and that is Shop Tour Bus. If you want to get an awesome Grateful Dead lyric-inspired shirt that is they're really fun. It's kind of like a riddle, a limerick, a puzzle. It's cryptic. Like, if you're a Deadhead, you get it. But when I wear my shirt, I get so many comments about it. People that don't know the Dead, you get the pleasure of explaining what it is to them, and then it's another way to hook people on the Dead.
It's like one of those like pictures when you were a kid, like at school, like it would be a picture of the letter B and an ice cube, and you had to figure out what it said. That would be cool, but
Yeah. It's kind of cryptic, and they weave little things from the Dead world into all of these designs. And you can go over there. You can get your T-shirts, which are also made of some of the nicest, most comfortable fabric out there. Yeah. They're like summer shirts. They're perfect. It's like really cool breeze shirts where the breeze blows through it. And then they also have hoodies when it becomes that time.
Tank tops.
They do hats sometimes, tank tops, stickers. Sometimes there's pins. There's so many things.
And they're hooking up the No Simple Road family with 10% off.
Yeah, they are.
When you check out, put it in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word, and it's going to come to you for free shipping. And
it's going to come to you not in just a regular boring like Amazon box that you throw away in the trash.
It's super cute.
It's a box that you will keep. We all here have several of them. They are also inspired by Grateful Dead lyrics. There's a beautiful little painting.
You can also personalize
one of a
them.
kind. You can personalize them. You can order gifts. You can get gift cards. I mean, they got you covered.
Yeah, they do. Literally.
Literally
They got your
covered. So
back
go
covered.
to shoptourbus.com to put in your order, or go to @shoptourbus on Instagram. Follow them. Check out what they're up to. And like I said, get yourself free shipping by putting in the promo code No Simple Road and walk into that next show looking fly as fuck.
Define Premium Cannabis is
cannabis.
one of our fantastic sponsors here at No Simple Road.
Yes, they are.
Thank you, Define, for believing in No Simple Road, and we believe in Define Premium Cannabis.
There are 2 locations to serve
That's
you in
right.
the Portland area, one in Hillsboro.
The other's in Forest Grove.
And if you go in there and you tell them that you're part of the No Simple Road family, you're going to get 10% off every visit. And your first visit, you're going to get
A free t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right. A free t-shirt. And if you live in Portland and you listen to No Simple Road, and by our demographics and metrics, I know there's a bunch of you out there.
Yeah.
You can actually go out there and visit Apple.
Visit Apple.
I mean, you're
Go
not
say
just getting
hi.
a discount on weed, not just weed, the best cannabis products in Portland, period. You can actually meet one of your heroes. Right?
I'm a hero?
You're a hero,
Oh.
dude. Well, he does
Yeah.
wear a cape. So
Sometimes.
yeah, go to Define. One in Hillsboro, one in Forest Grove. Pick yourself up some cannabis products, make yourself feel better, and just remember that No Simple Road loves you, and we're hooking you up with a discount on weed.
And I'd like to say one thing. Our highlight this week is Portland Oven. Our good friend Dan at Portland Oven makes a thing called lemon coffins. It is the most delicious cannabis infused
you,
with
Dan.
Carnegie butter that will get you higher than most other edibles. They are amazing. They taste so good. You don't taste the cannabis in it, but it's a great product.
But you sure do feel it. So go to Define, one in Hillsboro, one in Forest Grove. Say hi to Apple. Tell them you listen to the show. Get your discount, get your shirt, and get your head right, man.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
What do you think, Apple? Like, Fish is back on the road. They did the second longest tweezer in Fish history yesterday. And I'm just saying, I think they're playing a little sloppy. I really do. I feel like the band was much tighter in 97 when Trey
it's no 93 Hampton or anything. But
absolutely not. And
that's what we were waiting for.
We can't just enjoy Fish and
Mel.
let them do their thing. We got to dissect, compare. They were dope. Everybody was happy.
Nah,
it was
that
the
good,
time
man.
of everyone's life.
It was
and that's
33
the end.
minutes of mediocrity, Mel.
And it's so funny that is the Dead community and the Fish community, the most super fans in the world, but also the most critical.
Well, I guess that's the only way you could
funny.
be super critical is if you were a super fan, because you know all the shit and you're like,
yeah.
Hey, and speaking of like super fans, hey now, No Simple Road family. I almost forgot.
How's that?
I don't know. That was called a crowbar.
Hey now.
Yeah, man. So listen, I have a public service. I'm starting this episode. By the way, our guest this
Why are
week
you so loud?
is the one and only Elliott Peck, and I just have to say a public service announcement at the beginning of today's episode.
What?
Listen, 4 or 5 months ago, you were sitting in your house. You were wishing for shows. You were jonesing for live music to come back.
Are you talking about yourself?
I'm talking to the entire community right now.
Yes.
And then live music came back. And then you motherfuckers started complaining that the band's fucking playing sloppy, man. Come on. Like, if you were a professional soccer player and you didn't run for 16 months and then you played world championship soccer, are you going to be on top of your game, Apple? Are you?
Well, if you practice for that year and a half,
True.
yeah.
I have to say that I think
maybe not on top of your game, but
okay.
you're gonna be playing.
I have
That's
to
what
say
matters.
That I think that, and I'm gonna get shit for this, but 4.0 Fish might be the most burningest, on fire, baddest shit I have heard in a very long time, and they are fucking killing it out there. They're killing it so much that on a whim, Mel and I bought tickets to go to Hershey just for the fun of it.
That's definitely not why I participated in the purchase of this tickets, but that has nothing to do with any reason why I'm going to that show.
You just want to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania to get a Hershey bar.
I just wanted to satisfy Aaron's wishes.
Oh, come on. It was more than that.
That was really the main push.
Well, and it's also a getaway.
I can also wait.
Yeah.
But no, this is your trip and I'm happy to do it.
To be part of the trip.
Yeah. I'm happy to go, but definitely this was not. Yeah.
What?
I can just wait this year.
You can wait?
Yeah.
I'm done waiting.
I got so good at waiting that I'm actually liking it.
They beat you into submission with the waiting.
You know, I don't need to. I realize this because I've never been such a super fan of any one specific band. I just like going to the concerts and being there with you guys and experiencing what we do. Fish, of course, was special, but what I mean is going to the Dusters this past month, and then Yonder and Green Sky. Like, the feelings are wherever you are.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at the time. It could be a freaking small little cute dank basement with a piano and like some guy killed it.
It could be on our porch with Family Mystic this weekend.
Yeah.
Singing a cappella.
Exactly. So I feel like, that thing that happened to us during the pandemic where we didn't have anything to look forward to, and it was like a sentence because it's like it's more of the same is going to keep happening, that sucks.
Oh, look, another work week.
Yeah. And nobody wants to spend their time necessarily like that with no promise of a break, but that small little series of concerts gave me like a bird's eye view of like you can wherever you're at,
there's the party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's what it reminds me of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where Damone says he's all, wherever you're at is the place to be.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And our party is going to get on an airplane next week and on Monday.
Babe, my I can't hear myself.
You asked me to turn you down.
No. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
It's perfect.
We're getting on a plane next week on Monday. We arrive in Pennsylvania on Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we're going to be in the lot in Hershey podcasting and talking to all of you guys. Nobody's ever done that before, by the way. It's a first on the planet. Yeah, anyway, that's an inside joke. But yeah, so we'll let you know where we're going to be. And, you know, as we figure out the landscape there, I'd love to talk to as many of the No Simple Road family as possible when we're in the lot before the show. And potentially even after the show. I think it would be fun to pick out some people to have conversations with. What do you think?
I mean, I'm down for spontaneity.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we're gonna see Jack. We're gonna see Bacon Man. We're gonna see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna see his wife, Eve. We're gonna see John and Amy from Electric Fish. We might even see the guys from Fear of Craft Beer Planet. So this is gonna be a East Coast meets West Coast.
Whatever.
That's going to be fantastic.
What, you want to come, man?
No, I wasn't even invited.
Okay. Well, sorry. It's a me and Mel thing. This is not a you thing.
Yeah, this is not a No Simple Road thing. This is an Aaron and Mel thing.
Aaron's trying to make it a No Simple Road thing.
Look, you know what, man?
No Simple Road's always going on.
I actually was considered. I'd say, yeah, it's a matter of time off. We all put in for so much time off this year. It's a matter of money and time.
It's a busy summer.
Yeah.
It is a busy summer. So anyway, stay tuned to the No Simple Road Instagram over the next week. And as things draw nearer, as the time draws nigh, we will let you know where we're going to be and go hang out with you guys and talk to you. And all the fun stuff that we haven't been able to do for a while is gonna go down. So this week on No Simple Road, like I said earlier, is the lovely,
Elliott
talented,
Peck.
amazing
Elliott Peck.
Yeah.
Elliott.
This one I was very good. This was my. I even told Elliott this was my birthday present because we did
That
this
was
right
rad.
before my birthday, and she's one of my favorites and just angelic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This was
Thanks for sharing your time, Elliott.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was so sweet. And it was kind of right before you started getting super busy again. And
just like we thought it was. This
Yeah.
was such a comfortable, fun conversation with her.
And that she had good memories of Portland, that she had that little standing ovation,
Yeah,
little
walking
clap
down the
ceremony,
street.
which she totally deserved. But yeah, thank you for all that beautiful conversation and just being a light during the
Weird time.
midst of the pandemic.
Yeah, man. Midnight North just came out with their new album, There's Always a Story. And it is, you can really hear the progression of this band. I mean, they've been together for quite a while, I think since 2013 or something like that. And, with bands like this, when you listen to their studio stuff, you can hear the progression of the band. And this is a quantum leap forward for them. It is incredible what they've put together, and the community that surrounds them is amazing, and I'm just stoked that she came and hung out with us for a little while, that we can help get the word out on the new album a little bit, and for all of you guys to hear what they've done, because it is really, really something special, man. And
Early 2012.
early 2012. Okay, I was close.
You were.
Aaron math
I know.
didn't prevail.
Sometimes you're off.
They've been
It's
together
not
for
about-
40 years. They started in 2008, right?
Well, we're in 2021, so that's a good amount of time. That's a really good amount of
Yeah.
time to get to know each other.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
And being the female voice in a band full of dudes, like that's a tall order all by itself. Bunch
I think
of
she
crazy
works
men.
it just fine. She,
One that's kind of funny too. That comes up in the conversation, talking about like eating healthy on the road and stuff. And her talking about trying to eat healthy when you're in a band with a bunch
Totally.
of dudes. When their idea of eating good is like In-N-Out Burger or something.
Well, and she just did some shows with Pat Ferguson and Tim Carbone. So go search that out too, man. That is something awesome. Pat is going to be coming on No Simple Road here in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah?
We have him scheduled, yeah. And hopefully we'll get to talk to Tim too and make our rounds through that whole group. And then she played with, I think it was supporting like Nurshi. I saw Mark Levy was there. I had a dream about Mark Levy today, actually. It was weird. I took a nap and had a dream about Mark Levy. We were at a show and he was upstairs in the band room and I was in there for some reason. And he was like feverishly trying to put together his drum kit. And you and I had talked in the dream about just you interviewing Mark by yourself. And I was like trying to sell the idea to him in the dream. I was like, hey man, me and Mel talked and I thought it would be cool if like she just interviewed you by herself and blah, blah. And he looked at me and was like, dude, I'm busy right now trying to put together my drums. I'll talk to you in a minute. And I felt so stupid in the dream. I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have bothered him right now. I like kind of left the room feeling dumb and then woke up from my nap. Yeah, that was Mark Levy.
Way to go, dum-dum.
I know, blowing it with Mark.
Blowing in your dreams.
Yep. Way to
Yeah,
go.
blow it in your dreams so you don't blow it in real life.
Yeah, there you go. So you
anyway.
made your mistake. Now get over it.
What is that? Make the mistake first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, soon because you're going to make a
Well,
mistake.
nobody wants to be a bugaboo when they're busy. Like somebody, hey, I'm fucking busy.
Yeah, I was thinking about like when I'm trying to set up the mics for the show and somebody trying to ask me.
It's usually me.
Yeah. Hey, babe, can you? And I'm like, just a minute.
I'm doing something.
All right, Cartman. Now, Elliott is a super talented, amazing voice in our scene, and it's a huge honor for us to have sat down with her. I know you guys are going to dig this interview, but it wouldn't be No Simple Road if we didn't make you wait like 30 minutes before we get to the interview. So it's been a very eventful last week, and I want to start with Mel.
Why start with the worst?
Why you gotta say the word? Don't be a negative Nancy.
I won't be negative.
Or a negative
Nancy.
Melly. How's your week, babe?
It's been challenging and so beautiful. Like Monday, right? Are we starting from Monday?
Sure, let's start from Monday.
Monday, we had a gorgeous picnic with some friends from work, and we played Frisbee, and that was super fun. And then Tuesday, what did we do? Did we go to a concert?
We went to a concert on Tuesday.
We went to a
little
concert.
one.
A little cute baby concert.
No,
it wasn't little. But it was cute, and it was incredible, and it rejuvenated me. And it was so. I had a chance meeting there, so strange that I feel like Horning's Hideout brings out synchronicity. I like the lands like brings these people together. Earlier in the day, I had made a little short errand to work to my job. In that duration of time, I bumped into this woman who I later bumped into at the concert, and it was like the first person that I saw because I had to go to the bathroom right when we got there. So I'm like racing to the bathroom, she's racing to the bathroom, and we meet again. And so that happened several times. Shout out to Crystal Alexi, right? Alexi. We didn't get to hang out yet, but we got a little hug in and got to see her. And it was just Tiffany and Ben. They were there. Graham, Ansley, Amanda, Kenzo. It was phenomenal and so like soul refreshing.
Green Sky blew the doors off that joint too, man.
Yeah, I'm not talking about all the other stuff. I haven't even talked about the music. The music was, there's something about bluegrass that for me, for Melanie, just it does it for me. It's like tickles that fun, like energetic. It makes me be able to like jump around and hop around and like there's a certain vibe to that music, and I just love what they were doing. That dancing in the dark by Bruce Springsteen, by Green Sky Bluegrass, it was my favorite moment of the week for sure.
Wow.
Looking at you and dancing and like you're like wow, and I was like yes, finally, because I told Aaron, or I told Aaron.
It was me when we were going to sleep the other night.
I was like, and I should say this to Apple too. you know how like that turn on moment when he's like turns to you like I'm calling the songs and stuff like that. Like I get those moments when he hears songs that I've always loved. Like one time, The Cure, do you remember that song when we were, right? So like there's certain moments where these songs that I've loved forever that are like so amazing, but only like you and me like it because it's like pop music or something. That song's incredible, Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah.
I never heard it like that before.
Because I love lyrics, I just listen to messages, you know, and then of course, I mean, Bruce Springsteen is dope. I've always loved Bruce Springsteen So, but hearing it through their musical talent and their interpretation and the vocals, it felt like a cool breeze. It felt like everything was going to be okay. Felt like I got you now. You can cry on my shoulder. It was like a good feeling.
Yeah, man.
Such a good feeling.
Yeah.
Well, my week went on, and you know, I was kidding about the worst one earlier, but like I've just been having challenges, mental challenges lately, energy fatigue.
Yeah, it's going to be good to get away for a little while and
I'm excited about it.
Unplug from the day-to-day, you know.
Yeah. The world's hard to navigate right now for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a trip, man. You know, we like Mel said, we went to Hornings last week and again, for the Peacock Pick and Park, it was like this time's version of Northwest String Summit.
Pick and party.
And that's right. Thanks, Apple.
You were correcting me all last week. I kept
Peacock
saying it wrong,
party.
and you said it. Because they changed it from a drive-in show to a pod show, so it was pick and party.
Green Sky. Immediately, I this was my first time seeing Green Sky, and I just had a feeling about that band just from listening to them here at the house, and they did not disappoint one iota. Like Mel said, that hearing Dancing in the Dark in that headspace, in that environment, in the dark, it was really fucking beautiful. That whole show, like, those guys are just next level players.
Wanna change my clothes, my hair, my face.
Fucking amazing. And
that power behind that phrase, I just remember, guys, we were talking in the bathroom earlier in the day, and I was like, I just want to do something dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
And I was like, and it's not shave my head. I already did that. It's not like that. I'm fine with how I look. I don't need to change that. I feel like I really need to do something dramatic in my environment, like around me, in my life. Like,
yeah,
you know.
It was a good expression of everything that had
really
been going
was.
on. That's the coolest part of like going to these shows and doing the thing that we all love to do, is when those moments hit and everything kind of comes together and coalesces in a moment like that. And
that'll
you look
be
at
an
each
imprint
other.
forever.
Yeah. You look at each other like, holy shit, did that just happen? Is this happening right now? Fuck
Yep.
yeah, it is. Like, that's the best thing ever. And those guys really brought it. And on top of that, we gave away a couple of pod add-ons to Kenzo and Amanda, and man, let me tell you, two people that showed up ready to party.
What?
Ready to have a good time.
Hell yeah. Amanda had
right
glitter
in-
on her
hell
face.
yeah.
She looks so beautiful. Amanda is a gorgeous woman. Wow. Just a beauty, and like it's her personality, and then you turn around and she's stunning, and then her countenance, she's just got it going on, and she loves to groove, and
Kenzo loves to groove too.
They're
two of
so
them.
special together too. They're so in love, and it's good vibes between them.
And it was super cool, man. They had just gotten engaged a couple of days before. So this was like the engagement celebration with the No Simple Road crew. They had just started listening to the show like a week before with the Chris Pandolfi episode, and then won tickets to come hang out with us and party and go to Green Sky Bluegrass. So it was like this whole experience for them and us. And they just like fit in so perfect with the family. I know that we're going to see them. We're going to camp together when we go to the Gorge. And yeah, there's more to come with those two. And you know, man,
and that was sweet. They came and stayed with us. They were wondering where they could go to like park and camp for the night and sleep. Yeah, and it's like, no, you're staying with us.
shout out to Clean Sheets, because that's what they helped us put their own clean sheets on the bed, and we set it up all cute for them, and it was just so nice to have them here.
Man.
It really was.
We love you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out
Bringing
with us.
more
and
love into the family.
There'll be more to come. And
Yep.
yeah, so that was the beginning of the week, and then for me it was like recovery time and time to take care of myself and rest, and I'm not 20 anymore, and that's cool, whatever. Yeah.
Does that mean I'm not 20
Yeah,
anymore?
Apple. We're getting older.
You haven't been 20 for a
Shit,
while.
that's
man.
what's going on.
That
All
is
right.
what's
man.
going on. But yeah, I don't know if you all know this. Of course you don't. There's no way you could. I'm going to give you some information that you didn't have prior. Doing No Simple Road is probably one of the most fun, awesome things that we get to do. And it's an honor to like have the platform and talk to the people that we do and be able to be a voice for this fucking amazing transformational community that we're all a part of. And there's times, let me back up. When we sit down behind the mic, it's no different than when we're sitting on the porch with no mic or hanging out with each other. It's a
little different.
Well, I'm not a different person right now than I am out there. There's certain shit we don't bring up on the show on purpose, but other than that, that's it.
Yeah.
And there's times when the three of us aren't feeling great about life, or like having a difficult time in our heads, balancing the stresses of day-to-day life in the times that we're in. And the last thing that any of us want to do is get on the mic and express that shit out to any of you guys, right? But we have an obligation to put out an episode every week. So we have a way of like inspiring each other to come in here and sit down and do the thing. And it's incredible to me that when we feel like that, or one or two of us feel like that, and when we come in here, that kind of just disappears for the time that we're in here, and everything just kind of goes away, and it's us and the family and the conversation. And that, man, is medicine as far as I'm concerned. Like, if I'm having a difficult time and not feeling my best or feeling blue, when we come in here and we turn on the mics, that's the time that like all the cylinders finally come back on.
Yeah.
And it
that is
feels
true.
so good to have this place to come and be with you guys out there and each other and like hash our shit out a lot of the time and figure it out. And like, by telling you about our weeks, we're able to like work through what's going on in our heads, and hopefully it's connecting with you guys out there and helping you feel like you're not alone in your day-to-day stuff that you go through. And that's what community and family is all about. And I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, sometimes it's tough to get in here and like feel like I'm not going to vomit all over the family, my negativity that's in my head. And it's cool to be able to sit down and just open my mouth and not feel like that's gonna splatter everybody. So yeah, that's my
Thanks for
week.
not splattering us with
I'm
your
not gonna
shit,
puke
dude.
on you guys is basically what I'm saying. You're welcome.
That's very kind of you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Your turn, Apple.
My
Don't
week
puke.
was great. Aaron didn't throw up on me.
No, he didn't.
Darwin, how was your week? Oh,
It was good.
so okay, we've already heard that the highlight of the week was definitely getting to go see another show, getting to see Green Sky Bluegrass, who, like, we say so many things about them. To me, they are just, they take it to a whole different, like, kind of psychedelic level. They also feel like home. All of them, the singing is amazing, but Paul's voice especially is just kind of, it can be haunting and
Yeah.
beautiful and everything
That's
at the
how
same
it was
time.
in Dancing in the Dark.
It's yeah, and they're kind of gritty. They remind me, like, to me, they're kind of like the bluegrass band that wandered down out of the hills of the Ozarks. or something.
Except it was Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. But it was amazing. And like Aaron said, it was our first time seeing them. We've listened to them a lot. I've watched a lot of their streams, their shows. They just, they bring the light show, they bring the love, they bring everything. And a note on top of that, now that those two events are over, the Yonder, String Dusters, and everything, and this is from all of us, they will probably chime into extra special thanks to Sky for believing in us, starting back in 2019 when you didn't know who we were.
Yep.
And Aaron asked if we could be the official podcast of String Summit. And you're like, hell yeah, let's do it. And since
cool,
then,
man.
you have been a friend, family, everything. You treat us like that. You believe in us. Thank you to Burl.
Oh, Burl.
Sky made that happen. We got to hang out with Burl, Benny Burl Galloway. We got to meet Shorty. Special thanks to Shorty for being who you are and
Shorty's
being
such a
Burl's
sweet
right-hand man.
Yes.
And also a huge shout out to Hannah, who we have communicated with for a few years and finally got to meet in person and get to hang out with. That is a very special family, the Northwest String Summit
it's
crew.
an honor to be a part of
Thank you to all that crew for being out there. It was a blessing for all of us to, I think it was Wednesday night when we looked over, they had all, like the work was done and the whole crew was out on the side of the stage watching what they had set up and what they had created with the biggest fucking smiles on their faces because everybody's back working, doing the thing they love. And we're so honored, Sky, all of you, to be part of that. And that was a definite highlight. And then the rest of the week, like Aaron said, oh, shit, I'm not 20 anymore. So it was kind of just, back to work, back to reality, getting things done. I want to say special thank you to Ben and Tiffany for inviting us all out again, which I didn't make it for the second time. but
I explained to them that, look, I just said Apple's weekends are his own and you need to recover. And
I told them when we saw him too, I was like, when it comes to December, I am Santa Claus. I don't do summer well. Heat, shit like that. I don't like to be outside. I don't like the sun. I don't like come wintertime and it's snowing and nobody else wants to be out there helping you or doing anything, I'm your man. I'll show up with the sleigh and the reindeer. But I just wanted to say thank you to you guys and stuff too. Aaron and Melanie came home just so elated and so happy to be out there and have you guys as family and friends now. And I took that day, that was a me day. I slept a lot. I recuperated. I had a day off. Like we talk about that sometime. On our days off, we're busy. You got things to do. You got laundry. You got clean. You got all these things
Interviews.
to do. Yeah, it was a day of repose and relaxation, which I really needed. And then that rolled into, Aaron mentioned it earlier, Sunday. You're going to hear that episode coming your way soon. We had a local band over, Family Mystic,
man,
which was an amazing. We knew these guys were special just by listening to their music and seeing their fun videos and stuff. But to get to meet these young cats that just they just really know what they're doing and they're super talented, and it was such a great end of the weekend to get, because we spent quite a bit of time with. They were over here for probably like 4 hours or so.
A good amount of time.
And we really got to know each other in our conversation. You're going to hear Ann kind of off the mic bonding and just had we met more people that are
part of the family.
We're all part of the family. And that was the week. It was good.
Yeah, man. It feels good. I kept seeing posts on Instagram of people at shows on the East Coast, and a lot of them were like, "We're back, baby," captioned, and I was like, "Yeah, great, cool. I'm glad you guys are back," or whatever. And I would say Tuesday night at Green Sky was when I finally felt like, okay,
it's back.
We're back. Here we are.
We got to fill our backness.
I'm home. Like I can roll out of here in my skin.
It's always, interesting to see how we'll react to something new. Like we hadn't been to a concert. That was the first. They had set up a whole different stage and area, so it was new it was a second week for them, but like it was still new for them, figuring out the kinks. So you go in there, it is kind of nerve-wracking. It's like you are excited, so you have that adrenaline, but your stomach is kind of maybe queasy, like, ooh, like, I don't know, anxiety or just unsettled,
too.
Yeah. But yeah, just like, what's it going to be like? Are people going to like me?
Oh, Mel, everybody likes you, babe. No.
You know what I mean? Like, just, because it was just a little, the restrictions and stuff are coming back. So it's just like a little bit more
weird,
heated. Yeah. But they handled everything so beautifully.
Yeah, man.
Everything so beautifully. Like, there was perfect amount of vendors for the people. Right? It was gorgeous out.
Plenty of space.
The security was so sweet, but they did their job. They were sweet, but they did what they needed to do. Made sure people were staying where they needed to be, and
it was very comfortable.
Nothing ever felt intrusive. It was family. It was like, Pastor Bob.
Pastor Tim.
Pastor Tim.
I don't know why I thought Bob. But yeah, he was super fun and sweet, and it was just such a good time.
And that's how it was. I'm all about comfort. It was fucking so comfortable.
Yeah, it was comfortable.
It felt
weather
so
was
comfortable. Perfect. The people were all comfortable, and also just wanted to say thank you to the vendors, to Bamboo Grove Hawaiian Food, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
We'd
Shout
never
out to
had
Bamboo
before.
Grove.
We're
It's
hooked
true.
now.
It's good.
And to the Dump City dumpling guys from over in Bend.
We didn't go to the show on Wednesday, and me and Apple were here, and I was like, we should just drive out there and get a plate of Hawaiian food.
We get some Hawaiian food and some dumplings and head back home.
No, you know what, man? I might have already said this last week, but I think beyond falling in love with Green Sky this week, even more, the thing that I left that show with, like, attached to my heart, was the impression of what an amazing community we have. What beautiful people. The smiles on the faces, the dancing, the energy of love that was in that place.
Gratitude.
And acceptance and like home. It was really heavy.
It was a kind space.
Yeah,
it was
man.
like come back, and it was like a bosom to lay on.
And that was the family laying that down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as the band puts it out, the family has to reciprocate for that magic to happen.
Yeah, put on that cushy, like we were that beautiful picnic blanket that was soft on your butt,
Totally.
and nice and luxurious,
So shout out to the Portland musical community, man. The jam family up here. You people are really fucking powerhouse energy human beings, and we fucking love you, and it's an honor to be part of this thing up here in the forest, in this place. Like, you can feel that earth energy, and you can feel that love, and once that music gets going in the second set, man, all bets are off. Freaks come out at night, and it is on.
Say Oregon's got it going on.
Fucking beautiful to see, man. I missed it so much. That I bought tickets to fly across the country because I couldn't wait for the gorge. Anyway,
I was going to say one last thing too, because you guys mentioned it. I was just to say thank you again because that was 2 weeks and we got 4 new members of the family. Thank you to Megan, Ryan, who went the first week with us,
Megan
and to
Ryan.
Kenzo and Amanda, who
Yes.
joined us for this one. After it was cool. It was like an engagement present for them
Kenzo
to
got
come with us. They were
quite
so
a
fun.
gift too.
that
out
witch
of
hat
this.
is dope.
That was one of
that's-
my favorite things that happened. It really was.
Turned into a wizard hat.
Yeah.
Go on the No Simple Road Instagram and look at the posts from the Green Sky shows, and you'll see pictures of Kenzo in his brand new wizard hat that was gifted to him from Mel. It is fucking amazing.
It was a Harry Potter sorting hat, and it sorted right onto Kenzo's head.
Yeah.
It was like I had been holding it for him for all these months that I've had it.
Yeah, here you go,
And
man.
it's one of my favorite hats, and it fits like a charm. Like, it's a super comfortable hat. I love it. But when there's something divine told me to give it to Kenzo. And when I said, try this hat on, and he did, and then he immediately got up, started dancing. He's like, yo, I think it sounds weird, but this hat's got energy in it or something. And it changed his attitude the rest of the night. It was like, it lit him up.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they're friends. That Hat and Kenzo.
Those two both
matched.
have those smiles and attitudes that are like contagious.
So
And
I want to say, as the summer rolls on, I mean, we only have another month and a half left or whatever, but like, stay tuned as the bigger shows come up. We may be giving away some more passes to stuff, and you know, keep your ears peeled. And we're going to do the business real quick. So I'm going to say this now. Do us a favor, man. If you know people that you think would be into listening to No Simple Road, tell them about the show.
Yeah.
We need to grow this community even more. After meeting 4 more of you over the past 2 weeks,
we gave some people some stickers out there, so hopefully we have some new listeners. Welcome if you're new from that.
Yeah, man. Welcome home, y'all. Welcome to the No Simple Road family. But yeah, it is impressed on me even more than ever before how important it is to grow this community and to, you know, interact with each other. And so if you know anybody out there that would dig what No Simple Road is doing, please tell them about it. And, you know, follow us on all the social media platforms at No Simple Road. Go to www.nosimpleroad.com and check out the merch tab. Sign up for the newsletter. You can get your T-shirts over there and all kinds of stuff. I think we even got like fanny packs you can use to put your money in when you go to festivals. I said money with like air
or
quotes.
fanny.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's not what a fanny.
Don't
pack
put your
does.
fanny in the pack.
That'd be
No.
shorts.
Anyway, yeah, go to the website, www.nosimpleroad.com, and check out what's going on over there. Also, please, somebody, for the month of August, we need your help. Go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review. And if you're not going to leave a review, just go there and leave us 5 stars and then keep on trucking with your day. But if you're that person that I'm talking to, you feel that little tingle in your like solar plexus area. You're like, oh shit, he's talking to me. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
It
Go
means
on
so
Apple
much to
Podcasts
us.
and leave us a review so that Mel and Apple can fight over who's going to read it in the next intro.
We don't fight anymore.
Yeah.
We've
We
become
just give each
very-
other the eye, and if Apple really wants it, I know. And if I really want it,
when we read them, we kind of know now. We used to go like it was your turn, my turn. Now it's like this one's suited for. We know which ones it's suited for. We
we've
appreciate
learned.
you letting us do those.
And like I've said a million times before, Kenzo, by the way, man, thanks for signing up on Patreon,
Kenzo
brother.
signed up?
Yeah.
Kenzo signed up as a
Oh, my.
$5 patron.
Kenzo.
Love you, man.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you. Follow Kenzo's amazing exemplary example and go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is how we pay for all the stuff that we do on No Simple Road and get to bring you interviews like Elliott Peck and all the people that we talk to and all the fun stuff that we do and tickets and shows and blah, blah, blah. We have to pay for all that shit. And so the way we do that is with Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/No Simple Road, like Kenzo did, you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. And you have a warm, fuzzy feeling in the center of your being that radiates outward, and others see it, and then magical things happen to you, all because you decided to support No Simple Road. See?
Cool.
Huh. Other podcasts don't give you that either. So, just saying. Yeah. So, also, last but not least, call the Tepid line. That is 971-808-1524. That number again is 971-808-1524. Call and tell us about going to see Fish to the shows that we haven't seen. Somebody that
Any
listens to
shows,
this show.
local bands. Like Aaron said last week, we know you guys are going to shows because we're going to shows. We see you going to shows. We
see
know
you.
you're there. Let us know how it was.
Yeah,
Give
you
us a
haven't
trip
called.
report. Give us a breakdown. Criticize Fish. Whatever you want to do.
Don't do that.
But
you
that's
can.
also
Don't
fun and
criticize
funny.
people
It's the
that
fun
have been waiting
thing.
to play for months and months.
Look, man,
To put out some good shit. Don't be criticizing nobody.
I'm gonna say something.
I'm saying that,
I have learned something
Acknowledge that.
recently.
mister.
Let everybody do what the fuck they want. Everybody do
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you
boo.
do you.
That's true.
I'm gonna do
I
me.
do back that up
You
too.
do you. I ain't gonna criticize you. Don't criticize me. We'll do our thing. We'll dance. Have a good time. It'll be fun. Anyway,
Boom.
971-808-1524. That's the number you call to leave your trip report. Last time at your show, when you puked in the trash can and it spilled, when you shit in the trash can at Soldier Field, you know. something.
Recipe, a bunny story about a bunny, a funny bunny, your kids, like whatever. It is the
Scarves,
line that you
anything.
can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Tell us how to make patchwork pants.
Yeah, you could just call up and go, blah, 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 and
Hang up.
we'd be like, oh, that was cool.
Yep, hanging up, and I'm gonna
What
play it
does
on the
being
show.
here now mean to you?
Exactly. There it is. So there's your homework. Do all the things I just told you.
Yeah.
And then magical things will happen. You'll
And we'll be
always have
happy.
luck. Your lucky numbers for this week are 8, 7, 1, 3, and 9. So play those in the lottery. You'll probably win. And without further ado, we're going to get you to the episode. So you ready, everybody?
Episode?
Ready.
Yay.
Here we go. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Elliott Peck.
One, two, can you come and find me? 3, 4, why are you still standing there? Sometimes seems like love's for the lucky, but that ain't me. All my days are losing hours. I feel the darkness on the 1st of June. If I could hold your hand a little tighter, would you guide me through? Those were good days when the rain soaked our shoes. Every winter I stayed wrapped around you. My fine fortune and have nothing to lose. Like the birds in the sky painting clouds of white and blue. Lately, I've been losing people. I wish that wasn't part of getting old. It makes me hold you closer through the seasons. I have my reasons. Those were good days when the rain soaked our shoes. Every winter I've stayed wrapped around you with my fine fortune, and I've nothing to lose. Like the birds in the sky painting clouds of white and blue. Yeah, those were good days. We had fortunes to lose. Every winter, they're fresh and new. Every morning, with the colors white and blue. When all I wanted in the evening were songs that we both knew.
Start over again here.
Hi, I'm Aaron. Joking.
No. It's not that formal,
Okay,
Elliott.
No.
Well, since
Now,
we kind
now
of
you can say whatever you're going to say, Apple.
Elliott, thank you for joining us today. This has been a long time coming. You've been on our hit list for years. We've talked to a lot of your friends and bandmates and everything. And this is also a special one for Melanie has been wanting you on for a while because
Yeah.
she's always like, we need stronger women on the
Yeah.
show.
Well,
Just
that are
women
Women,
are
period.
strong regardless, but
Regardless,
right?
exactly.
But you and I have that in common, that we're always around guys all the time.
Lots of guys all the time. That's right.
And you literally carve and created such a beautiful space in that, and I'm really grateful as a fan, as a listener, observer of what you're doing. Like, it feels so natural what you've done, and I really admire that. So that's what I want to say first off and foremost. Thank you for that.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks, Mel. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And going back, I mean, I can't remember the first time we saw you play, but I think the most memorable was actually 2018 here at Crystal Ballroom.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows, actually.
Was it? Why did it stand out to you?
I had played a lot with Phil Lesh and the Terrapin Family Band, Phil Lesh and Friends, at different incarnations of that group at Terrapin for many years, kind of since 2012. But that was one of the first shows that I was like invited to go on the road with the band and perform outside of California. And, really was like, kind of my first opportunity to be really welcomed into the road side of the Phil Lesh, organization. And, it felt really cool. It felt really exciting to be, invited to go. It just felt like kind of a solidification of being a member of that tribe. And it was very cool. And plus the people of Portland, my goodness, like we just felt the most incredible love and open arm welcome that those two shows at the Crystal Ballroom. So
I'm so glad you felt that, because, the second you opened your mouth and let that voice through, it was something to
we were
behold.
mesmerized. We were
It
mesmerized.
really was. It took all of us by surprise. I just kind of looked over at the guys and what the fuck?
And we were all mouth open, kind of just okay.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Because a lot of times, you're kind of closing your eyes and grooving and doing your own thing. Yeah. That was not a time to have your eyes closed and groove. It was a time to pay attention and it just, like I said, it was just unexpected in such a great way, somebody gives you the best surprise and you're like, what? And that's what it felt like, because we're just, of course we're excited to go to the show and everything, but then to behold what happened, and gosh, that couldn't have been a better thing for them to invite you, especially here,
It did.
I recall when we saw that too afterwards, talking, because obviously you're up there with a lot of powerful musicians and men and everything, and we were like, she blew them away.
Yeah, she took them out.
We were like, man, she stood her ground and above and beyond.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, that was again a huge honor to be there. Amazing to get to do that in Portland. And it was so funny. I'll never forget this. I left the venue and we were staying right across the street or something, and I'm walking from the venue back to my hotel. And I walk by this outdoor, I don't know, folks just having some beers, a little restaurant or bar or something. And everybody in the place stood up and started clapping.
Yeah.
And I was like,
wow.
I was blown away. I brought to tears, literally. I mean, it was so moving. It was just they'd all been at the show, and they were getting their after drink. And I just, it was just cool. Portland is such a great, place to play music, and people really do appreciate what we do, and that feels so nice and so welcoming.
We had
what a great time.
Same experience. We moved up here from Vegas,
culture shock,
going on 5 years ago, and going to a show here. In Vegas, we had the Brooklyn Bowl and all the big venues there, and people would get tickets from their host from the casino, and I remember being at a couple of Phil and Friends show. They were people were who's playing tonight, and okay, whatever. But then when we came up here, it was a completely different vibe, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It was very family, and the energy was very thick, and it was wow, okay, we made a good choice. And do you, when you're out on the road and you're playing night to night, do you get a sense of that? When you go from city to city, that the energy and the people and the vibe is different from room to room, and some cities have it and some don't?
Absolutely. I mean, I think every city has its, they have their music fans, which is cool. And it's always great to see people come out. But like you're saying, I mean, there are definitely pockets where you'll get there and you just feel a different level, right? You just feel a different attentiveness to the music, appreciation for the music. People that are really there just is feeding their soul, as opposed to I'm just going to go out and have some drinks tonight, hang with my friends, dance a little bit. That's all great too. Obviously.
Of course, I love that too. We love.
Yeah, of course, we all do, right? That's our, that's how you let loose. But it is really fun and really special when you reach those particular towns or particular rooms, that have just a history to them. Or, just a vibe or a feeling, it makes you as a performer work harder. It makes you, want to really, put everything out there for the people that have been there that night. And it feels really good. It's really satisfying, when people are truly paying attention and digging in. So, yeah, absolutely. And Portland, Portland is one of those places. I would, I've done some stuff with Phil there. We've done the Oregon Country Fair. We love that. Been up there and toured with my band Midnight North, and we've opened for the String Dusters and had, again, like just a warm welcome and, met new fans. And so every time in the Pacific Northwest, we've had some really strong experiences. So, yeah.
So
can't wait to get back.
Yeah. We can't wait for you to come back. Having all that kind of taken away for... what is it, 15 months or 14 months or whatever?
I try to not keep track.
It's been a long time.
For a while.
Been a while.
How are you doing? You doing okay?
Thanks for asking.
Yeah,
I'm doing okay. In all honesty, I would say the first 3 months of, kind of forced shutdown and forced staying at home. In some little bit of a way, it was kind of almost a needed breather. I'd been hitting the road really hard, in different acts, different bands, with Phil and with Midnight North. I put out a solo record in 2018. So I toured a little bit with that. All kinds of different projects, Reid, Genauer and Friends. I've done, was just really picking up all kinds of different opportunities, wherever they presented themselves, which was great. But at the same time, I kind of realized I'd been running myself a little ragged and also not had the time to be home writing and, working on new music as much as I would have liked to. So, a little bit of a break was okay for a few months. Yeah. And, also a renewed appreciation for what we do live. Sometimes it can be incredibly taxing and exhausting. And so, just to have that gone for a bit was really, makes you appreciate what you do have. And then, as things started to come back, we also pulled a lot of new creative ways of making music together. The Terrapin Family Band was doing all kinds of different videos where we would, video and record ourselves at home. And Graham Lesh was doing all kinds of video editing that he'd learned and put that together. So we'd have stuff to present to people, stuff to get out there. Our band Midnight North had just finished recording basically our entire new studio record and couldn't go out and tour and couldn't out and perform that. So, we were again scratching our heads like, okay, how do we pull together a video for this? And we're all in different parts of the country. And so, it really did push you to be creative in different ways. I learned to set up a home recording studio and record my own vocals, like something I'd never thought I would do. But I'm certainly glad to have those skills now and have learned a lot from that. Yeah. So, it's been challenging, but a learning experience. And, now that things are starting to come back, it's feeling like, I don't know, like we're ready, like the gates are open and we're ready to just get out there and go as hard as we can.
So do you think that you'll incorporate some of that stuff going forward still? Like, clearly not just stay on the road, but kind of take some time out, be a little bit more creative with your craft and still, kind of go out and do your thing?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about the music business is that, most of artists' income is from playing live shows,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of support in other, areas. I mean, there's merchandise and there's a little bit from recorded music, but not very much. So, to be out to say this is how I'm going to make my living, you really do need to spend the bulk of your time working pretty hard at being a live performer.
Wow.
But yes, not all this is lost on us for sure. I mean, I definitely feel like I've kind of thought about narrowing my focus and what are the tours that actually bring me joy and push me as a musician and are worth my time, and prioritizing those sorts of things, because it can be a little bit of a hustle and a go situation. So being more strategic about that and considerate of yourself, like how long can I sustain this kind of work?
Sure.
What do I need to be able to be healthy and mentally, physically, and get along with my bandmates and all of those things. So it's been good. I mean, we've had good conversations about all those pieces, and hopefully that will translate into how we operate.
So Elliott, how do you prior, of course, how did you stay healthy enough to kind of keep going road to road to road, show after show after show? Clearly it's hard to, juice or eat organic or whatever, and even just exercise, cause you're belting it out, late shows, you're exhausted, you're rehearsing. What were some of the things that you were able to kind of maintain for yourself during those times?
Yeah, great question. I think this is something that all live musicians struggle with.
I ask it a lot because it's an interesting piece.
It's a huge challenge. And, personally, I don't feel very well if I haven't exercised in a few days. And particularly the food quality on the road is really, really challenging. There's just parts of the country where I would consider it a food desert. There's nothing out there but fast food restaurants, and that it just poses a lot of challenges. So we do our best. We our last tour we tried to actually look at routes and figure out where we had to go to get passed through a Whole Foods or a health food store on the way to different venues. We just, I think the thing I've learned most is just to be really vocal about it and to be,
advocate for yourself.
You really have to advocate and make your needs known, because, you're in a van with 5 dudes and they all think that In-N-Out Burger is a great solution for dinner.
I know, Elliott, I'm asking you because it's it's a personal question. So everybody's let's have pizza, hard. Meatball subs. Yeah. And it's well, I kind of wanted a salad.
Kind of need to eat something green this week. I know it can be really hard. Honestly, that's the hardest part about tour for me. And then, you get this window of time where the show ends, and then you have to be on the road the next morning, and every night's different. But there's some nights where it's okay, we have to drive after the show. There's some nights where we get up early because we have to drive in the morning, and so you have to budget everything. It's okay, do I want 8 hours of sleep, or do I want 7 hours of sleep and an hour of exercise, or do I want to get a healthy breakfast, or do I want to cook something, so it's all those little puzzle pieces. It's very, very tricky. I will say I think the best way to do it, if you don't have a tour bus, which when I'm not touring with Phil, we're in our Sprinter van. If you're not in a tour bus, I really feel 2 weeks is about the max where you can go out and feel pretty good and not start
feel blown out,
not succumb to the road.
right. So therefore I've booked a 3-week tour, of course, in June with the
pushing the envelope.
And then I'm going on a week tour after that with Tim Carbone and Pat Ferguson. And
I saw that. That's awesome.
It's great. It's all great. And I think we're excited because things are opening up. But moving forward, I feel that is one thing I'm going to be a little bit better about, is saying let's keep it to 2 weeks, or and if so, how do we do it where we're taking care of ourselves and making the drives a little less long, and all those pieces. It's all tricky. It's a puzzle.
I think
It's tricky enough when you're sitting home in your own home to make good choices and find time for exercise and your creative process. And so that is just, I mean, like what you're saying, it's always hard.
But to a person that we've spoken to, every single artist that we've talked to has kind of had the same experience as you, where like, okay, cool. It was cool for a break for a while. And then it was like this time to really figure out what you're about, because and we went through it too. Like, I didn't know what the hell we were going to do. Like, we have a live music podcast that there is no live music. What do we do? And like, you know, doing this, what we're doing right now, we didn't used to do Zoom calls. Like, this came out of the pandemic, and like our studio came out of it, and it's good stuff. And then also I feel like for whatever reason, I mean, I guess it makes sense because there was this pandemic and disease everywhere, and it still is, but like everybody really started focusing on, at least that we've been talking to, getting healthy and like paying attention to their bodies a lot more and
mental health too.
And mental health,
been the biggest, because it's always such a taboo, you know. I would say maybe like even 3 years back, it really wasn't spoken of that often. When
Neil passed is when it really started becoming a conversation in our circles of like mental health and
and that can mean so many things too. It's just like even just strictly keeping yourself happy and joyful, like that is sometimes a challenge, or keeping yourself from being negative, or embracing the fact that you're not feeling happy, or or you are feeling negative, like always trying to push things out or not make it seem as bad as it is. And that is a really hard thing to keep up for a long time. You know?
Agreed. Absolutely.
Especially if you're running yourself ragged to boot.
So I think that what my point is that we all have this like renewed sense of appreciation for everything. And but like as a music fan, like it's a privilege to get to go to a show. And I never looked at it like that. And also like getting to spend time together, all of us, like the bands, the crowd, the community, seeing the same people at the same shows from place to place, like if you're doing tour or whatever going, that's really special. That's a really amazing, cool thing that we get to do. And like, I don't know, for you coming up in this scene, have you always looked at it like that, or like, was that something that kind of grew out of it?
Yeah, I think like you're saying, I think there's been a renewed appreciation for just about every aspect of what we do. I think the thing that hit me hardest was, like you're saying, just that lack of community, lack of being together, whether that's with the fans or whether that's with your bandmates. But I can't tell you like what a craving that was to not only, play music together collaboratively in the same room, and how much we missed that. But then to also do that with a live audience, with that energy, it's just give and take, and you can't do it without each other. We're all there experiencing the same thing in different ways, but we're all feeding into this emotion or this energy that we're all experiencing. So I feel like that struck me more than anything. Just the power of being together, and how much what we do relies on that, right? Not just writing a song in your room is great, and recording it and putting it on the internet. That's a wonderful thing to do. But when you do that, and when you do that with people, it just amplifies, it multiplies, exponentially. I think one thing that struck me most getting back together with people after being separate and not playing music was the power of singing together. I mean, while all of music, obviously playing together was missed and was important, but the power of human voices singing together, to me, was the one thing that I especially missed and felt so much gratitude before when I was able to do again. Singing harmony is one thing that I love probably more than anything. I love the sound of people's voices locked in, you know, knowing their parts and really creating this chord or this sound together that you couldn't be done with just one of you, right? And that's really a prevalent feature of both the Phil and Friends stuff I've done, Phil and the Terrapin Family Band, as well as my original band Midnight North. We all prioritize and value that very, very much. And so, you know, finally getting back on stage with our colleagues and being able to sing together, I don't know, it's just some stuff that comes from heaven, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
Like,
Do you remember
man.
the first show back? Like what was your first show back from, you know, like where you had an audience and you had your band and...
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I went back to Terrapin we did a small run of shows. I believe it was November. And we did 2 Midnight North shows, and we did a few Phil Lesh and, you know, various configurations. One with Stu Allen. We had one with Scott Law, and then so those are probably like my first, like, you know, bigger shows, I guess, back with like an actual full audience. And and just, you know, I again, like the one thing I noticed beyond the singing was like people's faces, the joy and the emotion, and like people had tears coming down their face, just, you know, and I didn't realize like how powerful that was. I remember even, you know, popping into a show at Terrapin, coming back and just hearing it for myself, like from the audience. And it was like a wave of sound coming over you. And it was so beautiful. And, you know, I think it's just something we really never need to take for granted again. Right. Because it's so powerful and so human.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you were not sitting around being bored during this. You're an extremely busy human being. And so just like, 5 days ago, you finished recording a solo album? Is that right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say finished, but I did do a week of recording. I have a great friend that lives in the Jersey area, and I was able to go out to his studio for a few days and just put down some, you know, raw like ideas that I had kind of developed as I've been home for a few months writing. So that felt really nice. Aww. And speaking of our friend Neil Casal, I was actually able to play one of his guitars on the recording, which felt incredibly special for me, and very beautiful experience getting to do that. So yes, busy. It continues.
I know.
I'm going to take a break, but I'm going to still stay busy.
Congratulations too on Midnight North signing with Americana Vibes.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We are incredibly proud of this record that's going to be out July 23rd. And we are also incredibly excited to be now on a new record label called Americana Vibes, and working with our dear friends, the infamous String Dusters, as they're part of the label as well. And, you know, it's like a family, right? Or just, you know, feels, I say this a lot, you know, because in the music business, there's like, you know, there's sides of it where it feels like a competition in some ways, and people are, you know, edging for those spots. There's only like a handful of venues that are open on Friday night, and everybody's trying to get, you know, their band booked in that spot. And sometimes it can feel a little like competitive, and, well, why are they getting to play there and we're not getting to play? Why did they get on the festival and we didn't get asked? You know, so there's a little bit of that goes on. But, you know, with this situation with Americana Vibes and with the String Dusters, it just feels like, you know, we're all there to help each other. We're all going to support each other. And it feels really collaborative and really just warm and welcoming, kind of carries over that same vibe that we have going on at Terrapin. And it's really cool to be part of a scene like that.
They're going to be, the String Dusters are going to be our first show back.
Oh, that's fantastic. Where are you going to see them?
At Horning's Hideout. They're doing,
nice.
they're doing like a park drive-in thing. They built a stage out in one of
cool.
the fields, and like, so
It's gonna be a bluegrass
Awesome.
welcome bag. We work, 1 week is green sky bluegrass there, drive-in show out in the fields, and then the next week is the String Dusters and Yonder playing
And
together.
Yonder. Fabulous.
I wanted to
Well,
ask you about the Americana vibes. Like, I mean, I know what it means when a band gets signed to a record label, but what does that mean for Midnight North? Like, okay, you signed with Americana Vibes, great. What happens different for you because of that?
Yeah, great question. I mean, every label is different, you know, and you have labels that range from, you know, major industry at the top to small independent, you know, folks, all different walks of life and all different genre. For us and for this record deal, what this means is that we kind of, you know, enter into a partnership with these folks that have are not like have not been around a very long time, but they have a lot of experience in the industry. So, you know, like the folks that started it have, you know, been working with other artists, and they're based in LA, and they have a lot of different connections and relationships with people from all different parts of the industry, not just the live music, which, you know, we feel like is probably our most or our comfort zone, I would say.
Right.
But they, you know, they tap into like licensing and movies and television, and, you know, there's so much content being put out, you know, visually, that they need all this audio to pair with that. And, you know, we would love to be involved in that. We feel like a lot of our songs, particularly on this record, have a, you know, I mean, the record's called It's Always a Story, because each one of them are like short narratives and short stories about something. And I feel like, you know, that's really what songwriting is to us, is storytelling. And if we can get that song, you know, placed in a movie or somewhere that can reach people and make them feel something, or help a film director tell their story better, you know, what a great thing, what a great pairing, right? Because, you know, the music is what brings so much emotion. So, you know, so again, we don't know exactly what this means in the long run, but I think it's a great exploration. It's a great first step to see, you know, if this is a good partnership for us. And we're really excited, and we have a lot of confidence in these folks that, you know, they're going to help us be heard by more people.
Yeah.
And I think that's like really the goal for any musician is, you know, you work really hard on your music, and you put so much of your heart and yourself and your time and your own money and everything that you have into this. You invest. And all, you know, we're not looking for big paychecks. We're not looking for all that. What we want is we want people to hear it, and we want to reach people, and we want to make them feel something.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we can do that, like, that's the goal. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll just see what happens. You know, I think they're going to be a great hand in helping us out and helping us get out there. You know, and we trust our colleagues, the String Dusters, tremendously. We kind of have always looked to them as like the gold standard of what we want how our band should operate in the industry, because they are so professional, so organized, and not to mention just some of the greatest humans, you know, kind and thoughtful and respectful. And, you know, Midnight North has toured with the String Dusters twice, and every single show on that tour, you know, we're the opening band. You know, they don't even need to talk to us if they don't want to. Right. But every single night, you know, they invited Graham and I out on stage with them to do a song. And, you know, they sat in with our band endless amount of times, and, you know, they're just willing to give back and help a smaller artist grow. Wow. And I think that's really what it's all about, so you know.
Dope. As we had the pleasure of interviewing at Northwest String Summit, 2018. Was it 2018 or 19?
I don't know. The years all combined.
Yeah. Anyway, Andy,
the dobro player,
came to our
Andy Hall.
Andy Hall. We were just blown away because we didn't, you know, this is years ago. We were just kind of fresh still in one of our first few festivals. And he was such a gentleman.
It was such an impact.
Such a good heart. He came and found us he came to our camp showed up like a little early. He was like, I heard you guys were over here. I hope you don't mind. He came and joined us in our camp. And we just sat there in camp and interviewed him. And he was just a sweetheart of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
We totally understand where you're coming from with
yeah,
them.
Right. They're just exceptional people, and that's so cool because it makes you want to support them even more.
Yeah.
Totally.
you know?
Yeah.
That's what kind of what we found through doing the show was not only do we love the music already, that's why we kind of reach out, but after speaking with the individual such as yourself, Andy, like whoever else we get on the show, it's like we're rooting for you as a human being now. It's like, gosh, yes, I want to get her record out. I want everyone to know about Elliott, because if she can make me feel like, you know, I'm at church, or if she can like open my heart chakra just by singing a note, I know that there's other people out there that can appreciate that. And so, I mean, we become like the people that want to like push you out, like the Americana vibes. Like, let's come on, let's hear it.
No, you guys become the ambassadors of the
Yes.
music.
Right.
It's really, really cool. And we appreciate that. It takes all of us to do that. Like, you know, and especially like the musicians that are in it day to day, we're traveling, we're writing, we're working on our music, you know, and yes, we fill all those other roles of promotion and doing our social media and doing interviews and all that. But but really it's the people, it's the fans, it's the radio folks, it's podcasts, it's word of mouth. You know, that's really where the success starts to bubble up and grow. And you know, that's we tremendously appreciate what you all are doing and getting the word out for us.
That's really sweet.
It's incredibly helpful. So thank you.
And well, it's like you said, opening up for String Dusters and stuff. It's like it's how we feel. It's like we're the opening band. You don't even need to talk to us. I mean, another one wonderful interview we had with Graham.
Yeah.
We had such a good time with him, and then to like get feedback, he was like, man, that was so enjoyable. We hear from the artist. That just makes your heart swell. And like makes you guys makes us all feel connected, like family, friends. We're rooting each other on even more.
Well, and that's the thing too, that like the music scene, specifically the Grateful Dead family music scene, at least for me, like it did so much when I was a kid for me. Like that 18-year-old kid going to that first show, that was a big deal. It changed everything. And being part of the scene and like growing up with it and seeing where it's at now, having the opportunity to like in some way participate, but not even that, but like to give something back to the thing that gave me so much. It's like, for me, it's like, it's seva. It's service. It's like, I can finally give back to that thing that like changed my whole world. And, and
a little more than just buying a ticket.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's that much sweeter too, because we're making friends along the way. And that's just like, oh shit. I can't even.
That getting it back to another moment we had, because everybody loves Terrapin. We had the honor of doing an interview on stage in the bar with our friends, the Higgs. And you want to talk about, me and Aaron were like
little girls.
Palpate, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, we've been here and seen bands, and we actually get we watched Graham in the bar, we watched Phil in the Great Room, we've watched so many people there, and then we got to be on the stage. It was like we were giddy. It was hard to kind of keep it together, and then got up there and got it done, and it was kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh my gosh, people are listening and watching, and that is just such. I mean, you get so many people like in the industry and everything that are in there, and the crowd and your regulars. It was just the feeling of Terrapin is so magical. What Phil has created
place
there
is amazing.
It is.
Is there anywhere for you that you've gotten up on stage and you're like, holy shit, where am I at right now? Like this is too much.
Some pinch me moments.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I've had a couple. You know, I refer to this as like my best day ever. It was it was 2019 this summer. It was the summer Phil just decided he wanted to do all the festivals. It was really great. He was just like, let's go out, let's do it. Terrapin Family Band, we're going to rock, we did Peckathon, we did Oregon Country Fair, we did Newport, we did Floyd Fest. I mean, it just went on and on and on. Just the list at the end of the summer was incredible. But there was one in particular where, we played Newport Folk Festival, which to me is kind of the cream of the crop in festivals. It's like, in the Americana world anyway, in the songwriter world, it's like all my favorites are up on that stage all the time. And that's also the stage where Bob Dylan won Electric for the first time. So it's a iconic place, and incredible history. And I got to perform that afternoon at the headlining set with Phil and friends. And the Terrapin Family Band, and some of the friends included Ben Montench from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and not to mention Sheryl Crow.
Oh my gosh,
shit.
Another powerful woman.
Yeah. So I've been a fan of her since I was a 14-year-old girl in my bedroom, and she walks on stage and walks up to me and gives me a hug and says, "You're terrific."
Oh my gosh, that is a pinch me.
It was just like, oh my goodness, yeah, right. I mean, because of the Terrapin magic, I've been able to be transported to some really phenomenal places. I have to obviously quick mention Red Rocks as well, because that was another lifetime bucket list type place, and to get to play there not once but twice was quite a special thing in my life, and something I don't take for granted.
That comes up a lot. Red Rocks is a magical place. That comes up a lot when people mention places where they've gotten goosebumps. And
I'm sure.
Elliott,
real quick, I had to tell you that I didn't really know too much about. Obviously, I've heard of Red Rocks. I've seen shows there. I've, known about the history of the rock and roll side of things. But when I was there, for the first time, and I was standing on stage kind of just looking around at the boulders and the literal red rocks that are above our head, Phil kind of pulled me aside and he's like, well, this was a Native American amphitheater, dating back, many, many years where they held ceremonies, and someone could be on that stage, and because of the natural acoustics of the place, warriors could stand along the top on the rocks and watch and listen and be able to hear. And man, that just
oh my God,
kind of put me over the edge there, just thinking about not only rock and roll history but human history, and how beautiful that is that Phil knew that information. I thought that was fantastic that he valued that piece of information and then also shared it with us. It was pretty cool.
I've heard that said before about that place, and I think about rock, and it has silica in it, and silica is the thing that makes up crystals, and crystals store energy, right? So that place is like a giant memory farm that stores the energetic memory of all of the stuff that has happened, and that's why when you go there, if you're in the right headspace and on the right night.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
I've heard people having visions, seeing native stuff, and going other places and seeing stuff. So I can't even imagine standing on that stage and hearing your own voice being projected out through the system, through those rocks. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that was pretty much the word for it.
where did the journey start for you with singing? How did that become a thing, and how did that happen?
I've just always loved music since I was a young kid. The inspiration really came from my family. My grandmother was an incredible piano, organ player, and singer. And she used to also sing harmony really well, which tuned me into that at a very young age. She had a duet partner, this woman that
wow.
would come over to her house, and they would rehearse, and I'd hear them singing together. And I immediately just fell in love with that. Just the idea that you could sing these two completely different parts and they work together. And so I really just kind of glommed onto that and tried to learn as much as I could about harmony singing at a young age. And I think helped really develop my ear for it. And then I took obviously lots of piano and music courses all through school. I kind of joined anything I could, choirs, musicals, anything I could get into. It made school kind of bearable for me was to have those music programs. Really got me through and got me, motivated to go. And then, high school, my dad bought me a guitar, and that opened up a whole new set of, experiences, because on the guitar I was able to learn, more like rock and roll music and start just learning and to replicate some of my favorite artists, just learning Beatles songs and Pink Floyd, Neil Young, and, just some of that stuff. My dad was a huge 60s, 70s rock fan and just had a great record collection. So I used to, kind of thumb through all of that stuff and started learning about, the bands of the 70s and 60s and appreciating that as well. Really kind of fell in love with Crosby, Stills and Nash. And I remember picking up my first Grateful Dead record in his collection and being like, what is this weird skeleton thing on the outside? Being quite drawn to that, and hearing Wharf Rat of all things is what I remember putting on. Oh, wow. And I don't know, just loving it, loving the songs. And I guess I've just always been a real real sucker for songs and beautiful melodies. If something has a great melody, it can suck me in and make me want to hear it again and again, and then really dig into lyrics and other things. But melody is really what kind of pulls me and catches me first. So I had just, a great upbringing. Even in college, I was singing in vocal ensemble and things like that. And then starting to experiment with bands and, kind of doing projects outside of school that, led to open mics and coffee houses and, little bar gigs. And then, eventually I moved out to San Francisco in 2005, and I was, working in a couple different groups out there, but met up and came across Graham in 2012. And he actually had a female singer in his band at the time. And then she ended up going off to pursue a different project. And we started working together. He loved that, my appreciation of harmony, and I loved that he loved that too. And we both had a handful of songs that we were excited about, and decided let's make a record.
It's a magic combination.
We did that in 2012 with our bass player Connor O'Sullivan, and we've had some different folks kind of in and out of the band since then, but we've been the core four of that group since then. And then miraculously at the exact same time we were forming as a band and getting our start by playing clubs in San Francisco and that sort of thing. Terrapin opened very shortly after that. And then we had this incredible platform for playing. And we basically grabbed onto Sunday night because it was, kind of a night that not a lot of people were going out. We could still go on the road and do gigs and then come back and play Sunday night at Terrapin. And it was great because it was an opportunity for us to try out new material, to workshop things. Terrapin's such a welcoming environment, and they, the whole idea is to experiment and not be perfect and try things out and have fun with it, and develop your skill set. And so, I really feel like a lot of us developed as live musicians in front of people, not by just rehearsing at home, but by actually playing with different groups every night. And just being on stage all the time. And so, yeah, that's really where it all kind of took off from.
So you were always like keen on performing. That was never anything for you. Cause like some people, like they love music, they like to play, but that performance piece doesn't always go hand in hand. Was that something that was?
Oh, totally. I don't know. According to my mother, I used to stand in front of my mirror and belt songs on the record player when I was like 2 years old. And so she says I've always had a desire to do it for other people, not just myself. But yeah, I think you're right. It is two very different skill sets. And sometimes it can be kind of conflicting when, you don't want to be a performer. And, I went through definitely a period where I had some stage fright, and especially as I started jumping on stage with, people that are bigger and, better and been around longer, as you start doing. But, that's where your growth opportunity lies. You can either shut down and be nervous and, shy away from that, or you can just say, I'm not quite as established as these guys, but they've invited me here. So,
yeah, let
me step up and do what I can do. And if people like it and, I get better, then great. Then that's the goal.
You're talking to me as you're saying this right now. Like we're starting this other podcast with John Medeski and Jeff Firewalker Schmidt and
of Saint
Disruption. And they, when they called us and told us the idea for the podcast, basically what it is like poets are going to write in to their website, and they're going to pick a poem once a month and then sonically paint the poem. And then we're going to interview the poet with Medeski and Jeff. And awesome. I'm like, why the hell did they ask us? You know what I mean? Like they could have done this without us, man.
Or on their own.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity before us is like, oh shit, like getting up on stage with somebody that's more established and better and like been doing it longer. And like, I totally hear what you're saying though. Part of me wants to just be like, never mind. I
don't have anything to say.
I didn't mean it when I said I would do it, but
right.
But they invited us, and
they did.
Being, I guess that's how you stretch, and that's how you grow, and that's how you get better, and life gives you those opportunities, and stepping into them is the only option as far as I'm concerned. Because then, what the fuck, man? You're gonna be 10 years down the line and be like, I fucking blew it. I totally missed my shot, man. And so, yeah, I get where you're coming from 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to pay attention to those moments because I think, yes, that's that person tapping you on the shoulder, but that's also kind of like, that's like the universe. That's your purpose. Like somebody saying, hey, I recognize something in you that's special, and I think you should keep doing that. And I'd like to be part of your journey and do that with you. And that's a really cool thing, when somebody does that and it reaches out that way. So I agree with you. You have to take those moments when they come and kind of leap into the fear a little bit because it always pays back, you always get something back out of it.
Kind of reminds me of that Eminem lyric, you only get one shot, right in that song, Lose Yourself. But it's so true, because there's so many times where opportunity does knock and we sometimes don't recognize it. We cower in our fear, or we minimize it, or we're like, no, not right now. I'm busy with what I've got. But then really these opportunities, you'll get more, but not that one.
Right.
And you said, you owe it to yourself to figure out, was this my one that was going to change everything, or is this my one? And if you don't do it, it definitely won't be.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like you learn something every time you put yourself out there a little bit, whether it's completely uncomfortable or not, you're always going to take a little something back from that, whether it's a performance or a show that you all do. Each time you learn how to hone your craft or whatever you're doing a little bit better, because you get some feedback, and that's really important that you continue to seek out those experiences.
Have you had any I know you have had many, male mentors, but any like female mentors or women that have helped you, either like figure out who you were or help you to the next level or bring that, something out in you that maybe you didn't realize you had?
That's a great question. There's something I've been a part of for the last couple years, called IGE, which just stands for in a given. And they are a nonprofit group that brings musicians together. We often do these overseas trips for like a week for people that are interested in going. And Matt Butler and Michael Becker, who is are kind of the funder, organizers and funders of the program, really do a great job of reaching out to a diverse group of people, and really do a great job of including women in this group. And that's been one of the first times where I've ever really gotten a chance to work with multiple female artists, and not just female artists, but people that are like actually doing this full time on the road as a living, because it is different for women. I do believe that. And, especially women that have other responsibilities like families or just other things going on, it just looks a little different. And so it's really been hugely inspirational to get to work with some of the women on this trip, and some of the, some of the women I've really, enjoyed working with or have learned a lot from on those in this particular group is Nikki Bloom, and Holly Bowling, and Natalie Cressman from the Trey Anastasio band. And I know there's a couple more I'm forgetting. Jen Hartsworth. Hartsworth is also part of that group. Yep. And it's just been great to like have a female like collective. They sorry, I'm forgetting a couple more. Mimi Naja from Fruition, and we did a fabulous show. So last year we went to Lisbon before the pandemic. We spent a week in Lisbon where we performed every night in different amazing locations throughout the city. And they specifically created one show that was just featured the women, and it took place in this old historic church. It was absolutely beautiful. We had no amplification, no microphones, and we just got to sing and play acoustic instruments, and it was absolutely phenomenal. We called the band the Church Ladies, of course. So.
That's awesome.
But it was, it was such a beautiful experience, getting to perform with those strong, powerful, intelligent, creative women, and to again be lifting each other up and supporting each other, as opposed to it being competitive. I have to say that's been a great experience for me.
That's so neat because humans just lifting each other up is an amazing thing, but when guys do that with each other and then women with each other, it's different. It's different because male and female, we just don't know how it is to be the opposite sex. So when we're able to lift each other up, the same sex, and be like, wow, you're amazing, and maybe not even like teaching anything, but just being around that is so inspirational in a way that is unexplainable. Like when you have a group of like hardcore women that have your back and that are cheering you on, and you guys are doing something together, like that right there, to me, just it like gives me goosebumps. It like makes me excited to kind of like be a part of something like that. And that's awesome that you got to do that in a church. Wow.
I know, right? In Europe. It was a pretty special experience. So I really have to credit those guys for thinking about, making that a special feature and something that is really important and powerful for the performers, not just the audience members that attend the show.
I have to say about Matt Butler really quick, because Matt Butler he came over during the pandemic, and we did an outside, podcast.
Nice.
It was fantastic, and he had just released "I Am Powerful" or "I Am Strong" with
all the women singing.
It was like it affected me in such a way I can't even like verbally.
That blew my mind. I was so excited. I remember I saw it first, and she was at work, and I was like, I was waiting for her to go, and told Erin, I was like, she needs to see this. Came on, it was like, Mel, hurry, you gotta watch this. She's like, chill out a minute, and then watched it. I mean, it is just
what he does in bringing people together, but then, like you said, like bringing these women together, and just the concept of everything and the collaboration. It was a special soul opening, like third eye opening experience. Have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I actually don't.
We're going to send it to you.
I
We're going to send it to you because you really need to see that.
I would love that. And I love and appreciate all of Matt's work. So I would be, I'm sorry I haven't seen it already, but please pass it along.
Yes.
I was going to, before I forget, I was going to add that where you're talking about all of you singing in the church, is that out there available to listen to? Me, because I search out your music, everybody's music all the time. I've not heard of that.
I don't offhand know. That's something I'll have to ask Matt about, because I know there have been people that I know they did do some audio recordings of that week while we were doing different performances in Lisbon. I'm not sure which shows were recorded and how they're releasing that, or if it's
we can do that too. We'll bug Matt and ask him.
So, ask Mr. Butler. I'm sure he has an answer for you.
IGE is on my bucket list for life.
Awesome.
Awesome. That whole thing is insane, and the river tours that Ross does.
I got to do one of those.
You did?
How was that?
I did. That actually that was like my saving grace in the pandemic. It was, every show had canceled. It was like dominoes falling, this festival's canceled. This is canceled. We watched our entire calendar just get wiped clean. And the only thing that stayed on the calendar and that I kind of, had my hopes up for was the river trip. I did the middle fork of the Salmon River in Idaho, and I did that in this past August with Tim Bloom of the Mother Hips and Graham Lesh and Jesse Bardwell, and we had an absolute blast. It was so much fun, and we performed every night for folks after days of rowing on the river and fly fishing and eating good food. It's magical. It's funny you mentioned that, because it kind of reminded me of the same experience in some ways that IGE provides, with that real just intimate opportunity to see music in gorgeous locations that you wouldn't have ordinarily been able to do. But yeah, really, really
awesome.
Fascinating.
Congratulations for being able to get to do that in the middle of everything. That's awesome.
So
phenomenal.
Before we go, I gotta ask, the similarity between Mel and you, she's surrounded. There's two other.
I live in a house with 4 guys,
4 dudes.
And even the dog.
Even the dog
is male.
Yeah, 5 dudes.
And he's a big baby. He's like he's like a maybe one.
Yeah, we're all big. We're all big babies. She knows this. So.
But Mel's the mom of the house. No two ways about it. She'll put us all in line. She'll tell us when we're doing stupid shit. She, just. Do you have to play that role in the tour van with Midnight North?
No, I have to say I don't like to play the role of the mom or keeping people in line. I honestly really feel like Graham takes on the role of kind of keeping us all together, and he's just an amazing band leader. Wow. He really is. He steps up. He does everything for us, from booking the little details of tour to, kind of keeping band morale together, to the musical direction. He really does so much. And so, I lean on him a lot for that kind of stuff. I mean, I definitely bring a different voice to that role. I mean, I speak my piece when I feel like I need to, and you know, but we have a really great dynamic, and you know, he's just like the best musical partner I could ever ask for. You know, because he does, and I think he knows I don't want to take on that, you know, the role of kind of like keeping those guys in line, and so
it's not
you
your
know,
responsibility.
He does that for me.
Yeah,
there you go.
Good for you.
So I don't have to.
You know,
But,
that connection shows, Elliott, when your harmonies just that's you can't do that with just everybody, man.
Well, exactly. And, you know, and I think Graham and I realized that early on, and it's like, you know, you're great. And, you know, he thinks I'm a great singer, but like when we work together, there's just, there's a power to that I feel like is irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very, very lucky that we've gotten to work together all these years and hopefully many, many, many more.
That's why what you all do is powerful. It's not just like good to listen to. It's not just like cool lyrics or good music. It's powerful because I can feel the respect and, you know, adoration that you have, and it comes out of you guys. It comes out of the music, and that's why like that folk music and Americana music is so special too, because it has that, like, it's sweet and powerful and like the story aspect, so it gets you thinking and kind of like reminiscing. And I just, you know, I'm very appreciative, and I love what you're doing, and how you know, gracious you are with receiving compliments, and you know it. You do know, like, you know your power, and that is something that not just everybody but all women need to hear and remember. You know, like,
absolutely
taking it and owning it.
Definitely. Thank you for saying that. I think that's important. Owning it, and, you know, not being able to be afraid to, you know, shine your light, because
be your biggest self.
People want it. They want to feel that.
Heck yeah.
Elliott,
yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much for spending
thank
time with
you.
us.
Yeah, this was
It was super
great.
cool.
And thanks for pushing it
so
back.
fun.
Thanks for changing the schedule for us too. It was me.
Oh,
that
anytime.
needed to.
I told on you.
Okay.
I totally told on you.
And I was saying,
worries.
thank you so much. Congratulations on everything. You got a lot
Thank
coming
you.
up. Also, I just had to add on a personal note. This is one I was very excited about when Aaron Boyle, like I said, we've been planned for a while. This is my birthday month. I'll be all at the end of the month, and I was like, Elliott, we got to talk to Elliott. That's like one of my birthday presents. We all admire you so much, and thank you for what you do. And one last question. I'm sure you don't know, but I have to ask it anyway. I'm so excited that you're coming out with the second solo album. And we love you and everything you do with all the duets and everything. But that album you put out in 2018, to hear you like by yourself, are we going to hear that this year, or you probably don't even know yet?
Yeah, no, I think it's something I'd like to get out soon. I'm not sure. I'm still toying with if it's going to be an EP of like 3 or 4, you know, great tunes, or if I'm going to wait, you know, to develop more. But I kind of feel like just getting something out, because it just feels timely, and I think people are hungry for new music now. So I think if I end up going with the EP, you should hopefully be hearing it by the end of this year.
Yay. And we can't wait for you to be back in Portland in whatever iteration you come back in.
So ready to come back there. We miss you all so much. And yes, as things are starting to swing back into full gear, we definitely have Portland in our hopes to get to very quickly. So.
When the solo album comes out, or when Midnight North finally comes out in July, right?
Yeah, in July. Yep. Mm-hmm.
When you're ready to come back on, doors open anytime, Elliott.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Y'all are such a pleasure to chat with. I can't believe an hour just went by like that.
Boom. We hate to keep people longer than, you know, like it does. Time flies, but just know that we really, you have a camp out here that's got your back and that loves you, and it's sending you good vibes of gratitude and appreciation for everything that you've done.
Well, thank you. That means the world, and we hope to be able to give that all back to you guys very soon. So.
Right
Cool.
on.
Thanks, Elliott. We'll see you out there, okay?
Thank
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Tears dry quickly in the beating sun. Your eyes look tired, but you're not the only one. This runs over. What's your next move? Are you caught between the darkness and the shadows of the moon? Did you walk? Did you run through this border town? Did you breathe with relief when you felt your feet leave the ground? Oh, coyote, was there a better way out? Did you stumble through the glass and the gravel and the doubt? Oh, coyote, from the love of a friend, what is worth risking for the making of amends? The light is blinding, and the dust won't settle down. Your heartbeat won't slow till you pass through this town. This runs over, but you barely got through. They asked for escape and laid their burdens on you. Did you walk? Did you run through this border town? Did you breathe with relief when you felt your feet leave the ground? Oh, coyote, how did you ever get through? With your eyes and intentions all centered on you. The bones of your failures are now dust on the road. You swore this was the last time you'd sell them your soul. Coyote,
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Yeah. Elliott.
Elliott.
Yay, Elliott.
Oh, that was super special.
Yeah.
I know mom and dad
What
are
a-
proud. I don't even have to ask. That's why I didn't. Usually I ask about parents.
Yeah.
I already know. If that was, if that was my Sydney or whatever, I would just be crying every time I saw her.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, for that period, I've been proud of her. That's one thing I love about her. I didn't get a chance to say it when you hear this, Elliott. One thing I do is kind of the research for the show. We all watch it. One thing I love about her you can't watch everything she's done. She's kind of like Fish in the Grateful Dead. Every time I go on YouTube, I see a new thing. You like her performing in the living room with Stu Allen, doing this, joining them on stage,
top of a
doing
building.
that. She plays she plays with everybody. There's so much of her music out there. I want to hear. I know we all do. I want to hear that church stuff.
Oh yeah.
We got to ask Matt if
I'll,
that's
I'll see if I can
Yeah.
make something happen there. That would be
that's some
through the
powerful
roof.
shit.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
There's just something. I'm like, it's not a secret. Like when we had Dawn on the show, that was a huge deal because another one in the midst of all these men and is able to belt out her own voice and be recognized on her own. It's not like who's Donna. It's like, oh, Donna. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's
and Elliott,
definitely not like who's Elliott
exactly. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
There's these big, huge flames. You can't. It's not like one little flicker of a candle. It is a huge flame, and then so gracious and warm and kind at the same time.
I mean, I know it's silly, but
I
like,
love her laugh.
I know it's totally silly, but like, I just wonder with singers of that,
caliber.
like that caliber of singer, if there was ever a time that she was like at home hanging out and like was singing and then stopped and was like, holy shit, I'm awesome. Did I just do that? Like, do you know, like,
I'm sure
they ever
it
feel
had.
what we feel?
about themselves.
Yeah.
She like though she brought up the one. I'm sure she had many of those, but like the one like Sheryl Crow. You know, she's like, I'm a 14-year-old girl in my room singing her stuff, and then I get to share the stage with her, and she gives me a hug and is like, "You're awesome." I'm sure that would be like,
Yeah, that's a
holy
huge deal.
shit.
That would.
And then you'd have to be like, I'm awesome.
Yeah,
And
you
and
can't.
know
You
it.
can't be like, no. You got to be like, heck yeah.
Do like that Eddie Van Halen kick and like, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder that. I wonder that with players too, like Billy Strings or just Hendrix. If he was ever at home, like, holy shit, you know,
I just give myself goosebumps.
I can't believe I just did
Yeah,
that.
I think everybody, like even like an athlete, say they win the freaking Super Bowl or they get the last freaking 3-pointer of the game, like they know they're awesome. You see them like, you know, like with their fists and like, hell yeah, like everybody has had a moment where they feel proud of themselves, whether they're willing to admit it or not. Everybody.
Yeah, that's true. You true, mama.
It's true. And some people get that often because they're putting themselves out there a lot more than others. But
Do you think that okay? So then, do you think that you get used to that after a while? That you're like, yeah, of course.
No,
I
because-
fucking killed it again.
I don't think you'd ever get used to it because
No.
it doesn't happen all the time.
Exactly.
If it happened all the time, I don't know. It wouldn't be real, I guess. That's something.
Yeah. Okay.
Think
That's
about,
a
like-
that's a
True. No, no.
reward for something that
Yes.
happens not very frequently. So I don't think you would ever take it for granted as an artist.
well, like she was saying, like certain places you can feel like it's just kind of like a loose, happy, fun night, people hanging out, and then there's other places where
They came to get
on
down.
every word, like, you know, paying attention. And so, yeah, those are the nights where you like rise above and do better, and you're like, fuck yeah, I killed it.
Well, like
maybe
that-
not necessarily that's what you say, but like interiorly you feel that.
That makes sense.
And she gave us another one of those moments after she played the show with Phil and the family band up here, walking down the street on
Yeah.
Burnside, and the whole. I would.
Well
you
done,
can't go
Portland.
home with your head
You're
hanging
just
down
walking
after
like,
that.
oh, that was a great show, and all of a sudden the whole cafe stands, like gives you a standing ovation and cheers for you,
and well deserved.
that would have to be just like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like
See,
kind of
that's-
embarrassing.
That's
and
why
like, oh, little
I love Portland.
yeah.
That's fucking dope. That is cool as shit. Like, I can appreciate that side of our city.
Yeah, don't tell me this town ain't got no heart.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not all protests.
You got to poke around on Birdside.
Yeah, you just got to poke around.
Nightmare.
You just got to come up here and play. You hear that, everybody out there?
Yeah,
Here,
Phil.
come up here and play.
Let's go.
Wow.
Crystal Ballroom's open. I saw their shows being announced, so we should see a Terrapin Family Band announcement.
I gotta say thanks, babe, for booking this one. That was
we all wanted.
No,
you were all
I'm not.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we all didn't. I'm just saying you made it happen. So thanks for making it happen. Because I don't even know what to say. It's. I don't want to say it's lonely, but it is lonely being one girl in a group of not
dudes.
Yeah, in a group of guys.
Well,
Like I said, it's not lonely. It's fun. It's cool. I get uplifted because you guys are silly. So if I even like have a tinge of a bad mood, it can pull me out super easy. Like there's amazing benefits and great things that come out of being the one of many. But at the same time, it can be lonely. You want to talk about other things that just aren't on their mind.
I can only imagine if I was the only dude on this show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That would be tough.
That that would be.
Yeah.
It is.
Reverse roles.
Yeah, that would be very
Especially
well done,
like,
Mel.
Thank you.
Yeah, navigating our dum-dumness.
Well, no, I don't even think that. I don't like. You guys aren't dum-dums. You guys are literally the opposite. You can act dumb, like and it's fun and silly and whatever. But like, you guys have raised me up to a level too. Like just like what she was saying with Graham. Like I wanted to get into that a little bit more, but I kind of picked up what she was saying as far as like he boosts up band morale. Like
he did that when we talked to him on the phone.
Oh yeah, he's a booster for sure. But like like being with you guys definitely are elevating to me in a lot of ways, especially like with Apple and researching and just you're always so excited about the music aspect of it, and you, babe, with like reaching out and grabbing these amazing people that we get to talk to. Like it's very inspirational, what you two put into the show, and I'm proud to be a part of that. Like what each like you Apple or you Aaron, what you guys are doing, like I'm grateful to be a string in that. It's not like, oh, what was me? It's like,
no, I get where you're coming from.
You guys lift me up also, but it's just like, sometimes you want to talk about or things are on your mind that just never will ever cross your mind. And
you said it yourself too. We all have, but you've mentioned that too. You've really found your voice in this too. And sometimes kind of like she does, like sometimes you blow us off the stage. There's been interviews where we're just like you kind of take charge and do it. Like we all kind of do solos sometimes.
That's true.
And to see you do that now, you've done a whole lot more. We all have. I mean, you really, and like you said in the last year through this pandemic stuff and everything, really, sometimes it's just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Mel, go. And I love when one thing you do that to me is you capture all this in your journal.
Yeah.
With all that. We see you over there writing and stuff, and then you go and you're like, okay, can we go back to this? It's awesome to see us all finding our voice and just getting better all the time. And we're like musicians. Playing with you guys makes me push myself.
That's true. You guys definitely have made me step up, especially you, babe. Like, you don't give me pressure. You really don't. But you do, like, in a really positive way.
For what?
To be better, to pay attention, to engage, to find my voice, to, like, to make my part of the show mine.
I'm just here.
And he's good at being subtle too, which isn't a big Schaefer characteristic.
No.
You have. That's something you become. You're a lot
subtle
more,
and not, which is great.
But it used to be a lot more like more aggressive and like it'd be a turnoff sometimes the way you would approach stuff.
Last interview
you become
we had,
more subtle, and also you've done it by being a great leader.
Yes,
conductor.
you're the Graham of the No Simple Road.
Yeah, it makes it easier and funner to get on board when it's not somebody yelling, "Get on board!"
Well, because I know me and Apple used to talk about it. It's like when the way it comes out with you is like you kind of like put the hammer down, and then it stops being fun. And Apple and I are all about fun. We're also all about hard work. I mean, I know that you know that about us. Like Apple, after working with Apple outside of here, Apple fucking kills it. He is so on it. Like when he's at work, he has fun, but he is working hard. And same with me. Like when I'm at work, everybody's always like, I want to go hang out with Mel. I'll work with her. Like she's always like, I'll bag for her. I'll do this.
Done and have fun.
Exactly. And sometimes in your delivery, I would say like before, because it's not, I don't feel like this anymore. It was just harsh and hard, and
get to fucking work. God damn it.
We needed the space to be able to find our own fucking voice, you know, and we have a different approach than you know, and you found how to talk to us through the show and through your actions. You found a better way to kind of get the best out of us.
I don't even know what I did, but cool.
Boom.
Stop being bossy.
That's the beauty of it.
You
not
are,
knowing.
yeah.
I don't even know, man.
It just
fucking
happens.
relax.
Well, it's like
It's organic.
You
Chill
say
out,
it a
man.
lot about like this being a band, and you know, anytime you're working with a group, you're a band, like a sports team. That unless you're in a solo sport, you have to learn how to work together. Otherwise, you're gonna fucking lose. You're not gonna perform good. And in doing this, we've all been able to kind of like play our instruments better.
Yeah.
You know?
Tune them well.
So anyway, thanks guys for
Yeah.
helping elevate me. And
like Mel said, thank you for doing this one thing. This was like a birthday present. Also,
Yeah.
I know.
This
I be
is
knowing.
fun.
I know what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elliott, thanks.
thank you,
It
Elliott.
was
Thank you
super
so
fun.
much.
And like I said, when the solo album drops, let me know and we'll have you back on. We'll talk all about it.
Yep.
And congratulations to Life. You're killing it.
Yeah.
You're
Well
killing
done. Well done,
Killing
sister.
it, Elliott.
Everybody out there, we'll be back next week with more stuff and things. And make sure that you guys do me one favor. If you could do me a solid, all right? Check it out. If you're on Instagram and you follow No Simple Road already, or rewind. If you're on Instagram and you don't follow No Simple Road, follow us.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think we have a pretty damn good Instagram
I know.
page.
Right. But if you do follow us, when you see our posts, do me a favor. Just throw a comment, a high five, a heart, something, and then throw it in your story. Because when you guys share and comment on the stuff that we do on there, it does something to the algorithm. I don't know what. That thing is alive, and you're talking to it by pushing buttons on your phone. And when you do that, it makes the post go to other people that wouldn't normally see it.
Makes it seen.
Yeah. So help us be seen by just moving your thumb, right?
Yeah.
You can help us by moving your thumb.
That's not a whole lot.
No. I'm not asking you to. I mean, I am asking you to go to patreon.com/NoSimpleRoad and sign up, but I'm not asking you to do that. You could just move your thumb if you want.
As he was saying that, I just moved my thumb 15 times.
Kind of like
That's
what
how
Elliott
easy
was
it
saying.
is.
There's a lot of ways to support a band. You can buy a ticket. You can buy a T-shirt. You can tell a friend. You can put it on your Instagram. You can. There's so many ways to support, and so same thing with the show. Like, say you love Elliott Peck and you've never listened before, and this is your first show. Go back and go through our catalog. Look at all the amazing artists that we've had and be like, share it. Hey, look at that freaking episode with Graham Lesh. That was incredible. Look at that episode with Matt Butler. That was super fun. Like, put it out there for us as well, because we're putting it out there for you.
Yeah. So, yeah. That what Mel said. And then plus 10.
And then some.
Move your thumbs. We love you guys.
Love you
We'll see
so
you next
much.
week, and take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Wash your hands. Safety third. Feed a kitten.
Hydrate.
Yeah.
Peace.
And be nice.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
Like twisting, turns to mission, turning this to journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth. And alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient. Or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The reality is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Well, hey friends, my name is Zach Lupetin. You may know me from the band Dust Bowl Revival, but I also host a music discovery podcast called The Show on the Road. For the last 5 seasons, I've been able to dive deep and have intimate chats with folks like the Lumineers, Ani DeFranco, Wolfpack, Keb Mo, Lake Street Dive, Bela Fleck, and more. So guess what? After 150 conversations with some of my favorite songwriters from around the world, we are bringing brand new episodes to the Osiris Network. New interviews and intimate acoustic performances will be coming at you this summer. And which episodes are coming next, you ask?
I am Zach Goody, the lead singer for the band Smash Mouth.
Our band is called Milky Chance. We are based in Berlin.
My name is David Shaw. I sing and write songs with my band, The Revivalists.
Trust me, these conversations go some wild places. So subscribe to The Show on the Road on Osiris, and we'll see you soon.